The other day, I did a video reviewing the AtGames Legends Pinball machine, and today I wanted to follow up showcasing footage from all 22 built-in games. Give you guys a good idea of what you'd be getting yourselves into if you purchase this machine, or at least the basics, because this machine is expandable. They're going to be offering more tables in the future from companies like Zachariah. There's going to be Tato tables like Bubble Bobble, Operation Wolf. There's a lot of cool stuff that is being worked on for this machine, but just what you're getting out of the box, if you got this now anyway, or soon, is these 22 games. And I do have to admit, I've seen a lot of comments talking about the selection of titles here. And yeah, a lot of them are boring as hell. I'm not going to lie. Like this pool table one, don't really care for it too much. Some people may like it. It's a nice little piece of history, I guess, going through these different tables, but not all of them are going to be hits for everyone. It's going to be very subjective. For me, I have a good maybe 5 tables that I really like Black Hole right here. I actually really enjoy this table. I've been playing it quite a bit, trying to get my high scores up and whatnot. That's the one cool thing is with that internet leaderboard, you can check the leaderboard, see, where you're at, if you got like a #1 score, if you've been dethroned and all that good stuff, and try to reclaim the #1 spot. I've been doing that quite a bit lately. I actually really enjoy this machine for what it's worth. I don't like all 22 games, but I realize there's going to be more in the future. So the expandability here and whatever the community of people out there decide to do with this thing, like, with the Legends Ultimate arcade machine, we got, Coin Ops X and, different add-ons we could play on this, on that machine. So I'm wondering if the same thing's going to happen with this. Are we going to get a lot of community-driven stuff that we can just start messing around with? We'll have to wait and see what the future holds for us, right? So there you go. A little bit of footage of each game. I know some people have asked, have I had any issues with the machine? And I think after the first day when I was playing this, I think maybe something came loose on the left side flipper buttons, because I started noticing every great once in a while the left side flipper, like maybe once every 5 minutes of gameplay, it wouldn't register a hit. And I started wondering, is this a software issue? Is this a hardware issue? What the heck is going on here? So I did take the machine apart, and I may do a video in the very near future showcasing that stuff, the internals and how to service this machine if you need to. Like, the machine that I received came straight over from China. I don't know if they put it on a boat, a spaceship, airplane. I don't freaking know how it got here, but it got here, and I'm sure it was tussled around a little bit. But I opened up the machine and I checked those flipper buttons, and nothing seemed loose, but I just disconnected all the connects on the buttons and reattached them. And after I did that, I haven't had any issues at all with that left side flipper. So maybe something was slightly loose. So yeah, I mean, not a problem anymore. But beside that, I think I've seen some people talk about like the way the ball looks in these games, how it's just like a still image floating around. And I think the one thing that people have to realize with this machine is that it's not an expensive, crazy machine with a high-end PC in here. This is, going to be very similar to the arcade machine that they produce, right? So yeah, we're not going to have like crazy reflections with the ball, but it is true. The ball just looks like it's a still image that you're hitting and it's floating around. There's no like real reflections or anything. You're not getting any ray tracing and all sorts of crazy shit. Like this system can't, really deal with that, but it's just a damn ball. And for me, it actually doesn't bother me, but I could understand if it bothers some that they don't like the way the ball looks, but okay, that's just one thing. Now, as far as gameplay goes, I'm not like the hugest person when it comes to virtual pinball. Like, yeah, I've played some pinball video game stuff, but I really have never deep dived into this. And for me, being somebody who does really enjoy pinball, but more so enjoys playing on a real machine, this is really cool to me. I mean, I'm not having any issues that I'm really noticing. If you notice something, point it out. Let me know in the comments below. But I feel like everything's running smooth. The physics, I mean, I don't know what I could compare to. I've seen some people say, hey, the physics in these games are not right. I mean, maybe they're not, maybe they are. I don't know, but the games are freaking enjoyable to me. Not all of them. Like this game, I freaking hate it. This Going Nuts game. Some people they might be like, "Yo, dude, like I love them nuts, going nuts. This is my favorite pinball game ever." For me, it's one of the more boring ones on this machine, but that's the subjective thing. I'm just looking forward to the expandability of this machine, everything else that's going to be coming our way. Okay, so like this game right here, Haunted House, I remember playing an actual machine of this and not really caring for it too much, but this is kind of like I feel almost like I have to compare this to like an album from a band that you like, but you didn't really care for it the first time you listened, but then it grew on you. Like there's been a lot of albums like that for me, and I think some of these pinball games, it's the same. Where initially I was like, I don't know that I really care about this one, but when I started playing it again, it grew on me. And like that Haunted House game is one that I really enjoy. Has that bottom table, the main table, and the upper level as well. There's a lot to that machine. I think it's really cool. Stuff like this, I don't know, what is this? Like blackjack? I didn't notice what the game was called. But stuff like this, I mean, is it deep? I guess it could be if you're really into it. But for me, some of them are just, I'm not into it. Like when I would go to the arcade expo and play the hundreds upon like over 1,000 pinball machines that they have. Obviously, I'd play every single one of them, but they would have them all lined up in order of when they were made. So you would go through the history of them. And yeah, I would play some of the older stuff, and then I would just gravitate towards all the new Stern pinball machines. I'm not gonna lie. You know, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, freaking Kiss, stuff from a few years back, like Tron Legacy and whatnot. And those games are extremely flashy, extremely complicated, and just freaking crazy. And you're not getting stuff like that on this machine. Not to that level anyway. Some of these games are a little more flashy than others. Some are more basic than others. And it's not gonna hit everybody's, pinball taste buds the same way, I suppose. Like I said earlier, there's a good handful that I really enjoy, and then there's a handful I just probably won't play too much. But there's been a few surprises here for me where, like I said, the games kind of grew on me. But I think more so for me, I've been playing this every day, by the way. Like every night before I go to bed, I jump on here and take a look at some of the games I really enjoy, see what the leaderboard looks like, and see if it's something I can maybe get back up there, or if I've been dethroned, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So every night I have been playing this, but I'm really looking forward to what the future holds for this machine, what becomes added. Like I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to those Tato tables, like some pinball games that are based off of retro video game franchises. I think that's going to be pretty damn dope and really open it up for a lot of other people. I know I keep seeing comments, even while I'm recording this voiceover. I was looking at comments, on my previous video on this, and some people are like, "Hey, what's going on? I can't order this thing." I know AtGames did a pre-order type thing a while back, and they're shipping them out to the people who, ordered them. And they had like a whole tiered list. Like if you owned an arcade machine, you ordered it by a certain time, and it kept opening up. And then just for the general public, it was all on the same day. So they're working their way through that. And then I would imagine once all those, early orders are fulfilled, that website will wind up putting stock back up, taking more orders for them. So if you are really interested in this thing, just keep tabs on that page. I'll put a link in the description. And also later on in 2021 sometime, I'm not 100% what the date is, but these should be sold in stores as well. Or maybe just Sam's Club. I don't know. I know Sam's Club is the one retail location where their machines have been sold mainly. I don't think I've seen them anywhere else for the most part. But if you do wind up waiting, just keep in mind, if you go to the store to pick one of these up when they're available, the box is freaking huge. This thing weighs over 100 pounds. And I do still feel, after having torn this thing apart, putting it together first, tearing it apart, and playing it over and over again, I really do like the quality of this machine. It's a bigger machine than some of the other brands that are out there right now that are targeting a similar thing. But I think AtGames, with the way they've entered this market space, they're just going a different route. Yeah, the licensed games on this may not be as appealing to everybody as maybe, you know, Marvel or Star Wars would be. And like I said in my other video, if you want to get those arcade one-up pinballs, I'm curious to hear what you have to say on them. I don't have any plans on grabbing one because for me, I like having a single machine of each. I just don't have the room, and I know there's a lot of those collectors out there that buy up all those machines, all the different arcade machines and the pinball stuff. And yeah, it's interesting, but for me, I like the approach that AtGames has taken. You know, leaving this kind of like open for people to mess around with, to get additional games added to, just like the arcade machine. And really curious to see where they go with this thing. It's an evolving product, and I can appreciate the way they went about this. I think it's really cool. But there you go, a little footage, me, you know, rambling on about my thoughts and feelings. You know, I got to talk to somebody. Going into 2021, it's still, you know, can't go outside and hang out with anybody, or, you know. So I got to talk to you guys, even though this is pre-recorded. How are you guys doing? Let me know down below. Are you doing all right? You having a good new year that just started up? Like, we're just a few days in. Oh my god. Hopefully things get better soon. But hey, at least I could play some arcade games and some pinball games from home. Feel like I'm like left home, but not left home. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. I'm a freaking crazy person sometimes. But hey guys, thank you, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace out.